I want you to stand up tall and proud. I want you to speak up clear and loud. Brown babe.
I go nuts, I'm talking a straight sicko. Don't trust not one of these hoes, cause all these bitches is fickle. Give a fuck about death to that nigga holding a sickle. I go harder than Rick when he turned himself to a pickle. Know that every decision you make is gonna cause a ripple. Why you capping with a glass straw? You know that shit brittle. I ain't letting nothing slide, no not one jot of tittle. I just keep it plain and simple, me no speaking, no riddles. Valley of the dry bones, need some tissue and sinew. Because my people on that dope, we talking bits of that kibble. My nigga won't come to New York because he can't bring his pistol. Mess with any of my family, I'ma make you a cripple. I'm the Kobe of this bitch, the way he dribble, I scribble. Want a whole rack of ribs, I'm talking dimes and no nickels. If you got them things pissed, I'm trying to nibble some nipples. And we ain't got no love for heathens, all these things is spittle. Whoa. 29 in my prime, haters can't stop my shine. Nigga, don't waste my time. You got a problem, then cross that line. Point them out and I'll embarrass them. Realest nigga in it, no comparison. And they got the nerve to tell me that I'm arrogant. But what the fuck, a young Hispanic made it in America? And I'm addicted in every city to itty bitty, said itty bitties with round booties and fat kitties. So girl, know I get around like gypsies, brought in different area codes from here to Poughkeepsie. And I like my music gritty, I blame that on 50. They family if they with me, most these niggas is shifty. Used to be my dog, you was in my left titty. Found out you a bitch, they can't even ride with me. They can't stand the rain like Missy. If you can't handle pain, you squishy. How you switch sides for a team that's that shitty? My soldiers ready for war, you sissies dancing like Diddy. You gotta soldier up, boy, you can't be bitchy. Cause I know one thing, it's for certain crackers showing no pity. Police killing niggas, trigger fingers is itchy. And after they murder your ass, they gonna harvest your kidneys. 29 in my prime, haters can't stop my shine. Nigga, don't waste my time. You got a problem, then cross that line. Point them out and I'll embarrass them. Realest nigga in it, no comparison. And they got the nerve to tell me that I'm arrogant. But what the fuck, I'm young, black, surviving in America. Then in the middle, a little did we know that we rid of some middlemen who didn't do that.
So y'all think it's just about us in here, but this is about an oppressive, fucked up system designed to keep niggas down and shit. Y'all wouldn't know nothing about that. What about you, little nigga? You know about that?
Yes.
Oh, you know about that? Tell me what you know about that. Tell me what you think about that.
Turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light skinned nigga, you gon' find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. Belly of the beast, we been living in hell. They like, damn, Kai, how could you tell? Put us in the project, set us up to fail. Round here, bullets be flying like hell. Too many of my niggas either dead or in jail. Make a nigga work when you locked in a cell. Can't find work when you out on bail, but your homie got the work, so we passed you a scale. Got them birds like the Bible got quail. Niggas selling out cause they mama got bills. Turning the coons like Oprah and Gail. How you say you sold just to get a little kale? They put you in a dress when you get a record deal. Wanna see a nigga getting high on pills? You can dance on a pole, you can sell that tail, but they never tell a nigga that he can go to Yale. We all created equal, that's white males. All lives matter, not black males. Another mother crying, another coffin got a nail. How many brothers out here got killed? How many of our sisters out here gotta heal? How many more caps gotta get peeled? We beef with each other so quick to pull the steel. George Zimmerman still alive and well. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. Feel. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Feel. Light skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. Feel. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. Chill. Yo, chill.
industrial complex is a system situated at the intersection of government and private interests. It uses prisons as a solution to social, political, and economic problems. It includes human rights violations, the death penalty, slave labor, policing, courts, the media, political prisoners, and the elimination of dissent.
They just want us to die in silence. They just want us to die in silence. They just want us to die in silence. I might start me a fucking riot. Slave rebellion, no compliance. They just want us to die in silence. They murder minds like they got a license. I pray for the coronavirus to kill all of these violent tyrants. They prey on us like they poaching lions. World War III's on the horizon. Black and Hispanics form alliance. From the west coast to the islands, this pressure is making diamonds. They awaken sleeping giants. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. Feel.
Nigga, did you just say what I was trying to say, but smarter? I like this little nigga.
Hopped off the porch, that was 6th grade.
Shalom Israel, Yahweh Shem Shabrak. That means Yahweh bless you in the name of Yahweh Shai to all the men. Yahweh Shemar Al-Athah B'Shem Yahweh Shai. That means Yahweh watch over you sisters in the name of Yahweh Shai. I'm Priest and Officer 50 Shar Yawan under Commanding General YAHANNA. This is the I.S.U.P.K, which was started at 125th, 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. So today is Tuesday's night brotherhood class. I got a couple of scriptures that we're going to get into. I'm going to do my best, Lord in Christ, to teach what the men above me have taught. And I got an article we're going to go over. There's an article that was released about a week ago. It was on April 21st. April 21st of this year. It was just released last year. And we're just going to go over that article, and then we're going to get into some of the solutions for our people. That's Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's get right into this article. All right, so again, this is an article that was released last week over in Alberta, Canada. Okay, everyone should be able to see my screen. So this is an article that was released in Alberta, Canada. Just going to read through it. I'm going to try to get through it quickly. It's titled, "A New Statement to Police, Card for Indigenous People Released in Alberta." This is a new card for Indigenous people that some of the leaders, you could say, in the Indigenous community have given out to the Indigenous people in Alberta. And this particular card, it's just a card, I guess, that they're giving around for Indigenous people to keep in their wallets. I think the article goes on to say it's also given to Blacks in the community. But this reads that this card aims to increase Indigenous people's knowledge of rights if stopped by police. And we'll just keep reading a little more. It says, so it was actually the Native Counseling Services of Alberta released a new statement to police card on Wednesday. That was last Wednesday. And it says, an Edmonton nonprofit was created, a new wallet-sized card to help Indigenous people know their rights if stopped by police in Alberta. And so this card's here to just, I guess they're trying to educate the Indigenous people a little bit better on their rights when it comes to being stopped by police officers in Canada. And it says, the statement to police card created by the Native Counseling Services of Alberta, that's the NCSA, it provides a list of people's rights and a paragraph that can be read to police. It also lists the organization's contact information. So I guess what they're trying to get, what they're trying to do is basically, if you're an Indigenous person and you get stopped by the police, you can pull out this card. I guess you can show the police officer proof that you know some of the rights that you have as an individual, which sounds crazy right off the jump. That's not something that people should have to do, but because of so much of the problems that the Indigenous people have had with policing, I guess they're trying to come up with a solution to some of the police harassment that they're getting. And so it says, the staff say the card is to help Indigenous people invoke their rights. And it says, this is basically to help, especially in interactions with the police, where it's potentially a crisis, or you get frustrated, or Salakia. So this is basically to help, especially in interactions with the police, where it's potentially a crisis, or you get flustered or caught off guard, to just have what you need to say there. So police also know that there are responsibilities on both sides, said Dana Crosby, Director of Legal Education, Media and Research with NCSA. We try to make it as easy as possible, quoted. I'll play this little video. It just kind of shows, it's a quick video, it just shows what the card looks like. Yeah, so this is what the card looks like. Nothing too fancy, but it just has some of the information that Indigenous people should have rights to, or that people should have rights to when being stopped by police. So the article goes on to read, the NCSA offered a slightly different version of the card previously. So this is something they've tried before. And the new iteration of the free card was started shortly after the provincial government banned the practice of carding by police last November and imposed new rules on street checks. So basically what happened last November, the provincial government banned the practice of carding by police officers. But what they did when they banned the practice of carding, and that's basically what carding is basically a police officer just randomly stopping you and asking you for your identification, to find out your name, first and last name, your age, where you live, your date of birth. It's just a way that police officers get information on you. And in some cases, they may be looking to see if you have a warrant out or something like that. I'm not going to get into all the reasons why they do it, but it's just to basically say carding, it's a way for police to engage or dialogue with you for whatever reasons that they want. And so it says, last November, the provincial government actually banned carding by police. But what they did do at the same time is they imposed new rules on street checks. And I'll get into the article, explain that a little bit more as we go on. But basically, they banned carding, the practice of carding, but they imposed new rules on something called street checks. And this is an NCSA specific project, so it is focused on Indigenous communities themselves. But with Black Lives Matter and the conviction yesterday for George Floyd's murder, this information is paramount to all people, all Canadians. Everyone has the right to know what their legal rights are, said Crosby. It's just getting access to that information that's a challenge. Having the tools that people need to be able to keep themselves alert to what their rights are and also safe in those interactions as well. So the article goes on to read, carding is disproportionately targeting Indigenous and Black communities in Alberta, NCSA said in a news release. And that shouldn't be a surprise to anybody watching. If you're new to watching the I.S.U.P.K, this shouldn't be a surprise to you either. You're Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. You know you've been disproportionately targeted by police officers in every way, every which way there's known to man. We are constantly being harassed. That's all over the world. If you're Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you are the children of God. You are an Israelite according to the Bible. And this is something that has been plaguing our community for over 400 years now. And so the article goes on to say, NCSA recognizes that the solutions to systemic racism go well beyond this card. However, this is one small step in the right direction. Carding refers to arbitrary stops by police and asking members of the public for their personal information, even if there is no suspicion of wrongdoing. AJ Junja, a criminal defense lawyer in Edmonton, said the card will help people know their rights. This is particularly important for Indigenous people and the majority of clients serviced by Native counseling services because they're disproportionately targeted by the police, subject to street checks and carding, he said. I think this card will go a long way assisting people in knowing when they have the right to not identify themselves and to walk away. A 2017 CBC News investigation found that in 2016, Indigenous women were nearly 10 times as likely to be street checked as white women. The same year, Indigenous people were 6 times more likely than white people to be stopped by Edmonton police. Black people were almost 5 times as likely as white people to be stopped, data showed. Carding was banned by the provincial government last year, but street checks, when police say there's a specific reason to stop and question a member of the public, continue. So basically, it's just saying that cops are still doing what they want. If cops want to stop you and harass you, talk to you, ask you about your information, they're going to do it. And it says, Edmonton Police Service staff worked with NCSA to develop the card. According to the NCSA press release, we see the value in this card as an opportunity to provide that knowledge and mutual understanding between individuals and officers regarding their rights and responsibilities. We hope it removes any feelings of fear or uncertainty while also allowing room to build on relationships with the communities our members serve. I'm going to run through that. It should be pretty much the end of it. Crosby said the goal now is to circulate the free cards, which can be downloaded online, to as many Indigenous communities in Alberta as possible. The more people who know, the better. And so I'll stop there. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Shalom to Malik on the beat. Yahba Shema Shabraka Thumb. The water for tuning in. How do I join? How do I join I.S.U.P.K? Where are you checking in from? I'm not sure if you're a brother or sister. But if you're serious about joining the I.S.U.P.K, I will get you information on the camp leader in your region. I highly suggest that you call the brother. You call that brother and you ask him what it is you need to do to get in the I.S.U.P.K. Definitely sign in. I dropped a sign-in link. You can click the link, sign in, start showing up to classes. But definitely let me know where you're from, and I'll get you the information on the camp leader so that we can get you more information on joining the school. But for the water for tuning in, make sure you get me that information. So Salakia, so I was bringing up that information just to say that article is not too heavy. It's nothing about a lot of the killings and stuff going on in our community. We know a 13-year-old boy, Hispanic boy, was just shot. He was hunted, gunned down in an alley. We know George Floyd's trial was just ending. Another young man was killed for having an air freshener in his car. Indigenous sisters being kidnapped left, right, and center. Carding is the least of our problems in our community, right? We got black on black crime. We got people addicted to drugs, families breaking up. Just whole bunch of chaos going on in our communities. Carding is a small thing for us, but something that is definitely aggravating. Having to be harassed by the police, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, all of us are facing it. All of us are going through that. And I'm just bringing out that article, just a light article. I'm just bringing it out to say that this is Passover week right now, or this is the Feast of Unleavened Bread right now, right? We just had Passover on April 24th, and Passover is all about the slaughter of the Egyptians. The Passover is all about that angel of death passing over us and killing the firstborn of all the Egyptians, right? And we just got finished celebrating that. And to all the brothers and sisters in the school, we're looking forward to our exodus out of this place. We're looking forward to our exodus out of Babylon, right? Any priest or prophet that's trying to warn you about the danger that's going on in this kingdom that we live in, that's somebody that you need to listen to. That's somebody you should hearken to, right? And so we're going to break down a couple scriptures about who is Babylon and what we should be looking out for so that we can get out of this place, so that we can join together as brothers and sisters, get out of this place, get our exodus out of here. You know what I mean? And those are the scriptures we're going to get into today. So jumping right into it, let's get to the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 2. Brother Malik on the beat, I'm looking out for you. I'm looking out for your comment. Let me know where you're from, brother. I want to get you that information. Just let me know where you're checking in from. If you're in Canada, if you're in the States, if you're in an island somewhere, Wherever you are, just let me know so I can get you some more information. All right, let's go to we're going to go to the book of Revelation. Go to the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 2. This is Revelation chapter 18 and verse 2. And it says, "And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon." So who is Babylon today, right? Trying to find out who Babylon today is very easy. It's not something that hard. It's not something that complicated, right? That word Babylon, it means confusion, right? And this place that they're talking about, Babylon, this is a kingdom, right? This is an empire. This is a government, right? This is a nation or a kingdom. This is a place where the children of Israel, the majority of the children of Israel are currently residing, right? And this word Babylon, it means confusion. It's a place of confusion, right? So if you look at North America today, right, you look at this place called North America and South Central America, just look at the things that's going on in this place, right? You got women acting like men, you got men acting like women, women dressing like men dressing like women. You got there's a scripture that says that there would be a day that people would call evil good and good evil, right? People are allowed to have same-sex marriages in this place. There's all different types of sexual deviancies. You know what I mean? People sleeping with animals or women messing with animals. Lord knows what men are doing. You got interracial marriages going on. You have kids who don't know whether they should love their mother or love their father, because they're two different races of people. They're not sure which side they should be on, right? Like, it's just this whole place is just a place of confusion, right? And that's why this place in North America is called confusion. It's called Babylon, right? And so that's all that is. So again, it says, "And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, is fallen." It says, "And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, is fallen." So the reason the angel, this is an angel speaking, is saying, the reason the angel is saying is fallen, is because this place Babylon is falling, and the angel is trying to emphasize the power of this place, right? This place has a great influence on other nations. This place has a great power, right? And so when the angel is saying fallen is fallen, he's emphasizing how great that fall is going to be, because this place is a place of power. This place that's confusing is a place of power, right? And it says, "And has become the habitation of devils," right? And the habitation of devils, like this house, habitation, another word for habitation is house. This house has all manner of sin in it, right? There's so many demonic spirits that this place pushes in Babylon, right? Like I said, interracial dating, let's all be one, homosexuality, trying to put the woman over the man. Like, these are some of the things that go on in this place, right? These are some of the things that go on in this place, right? You have there's women leaving the Middle East to come to this place so that they can be sexual deviants, right? You have there's men who are homosexuals in the Middle East who are moving over to this place so that they can freely practice being homosexual, right? There's a couple places over there that they'd be beheaded for things like that, right? I think it's a federal crime for a woman to I think if a woman steps out on her husband, she can be, I don't know if she can be put to death or put in prison for life or whatever it may be, but that there's a very harsh punishment for stuff like that. And so there's these women leaving the Middle East so that they can come to this place called Babylon and freely practice the lusts or the sexual deviancies that they want to, right? So when it says this place is a habitation of devils, like this is a house of sin, right? And it says, and the hold of every foul spirit, right? Like I said, having sex with animals or homosexuality, interracial marriage, drug and alcohol abuse, people selling drugs to other people. Like you can turn on a music video, see somebody smoking weed, they're encouraging that type of thing, right? Smoking weed is a sin, according to the Bible. And things like that are promoted here, right? That's a foul spirit, right? And a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. So a hateful bird is something like, it's like brothers killing each other, or jealousy, brothers killing each other over a car, brothers killing each other over a woman, brothers killing each other over business, right? Like a hateful act towards somebody, right? Those are the kind of spirits that this place is releasing, right? These are the kind of spirits that people are catching because they live in this place, because they're taking on the philosophies of this place, right? Like we had the KKK. The KKK used to go around. This is an example. The KKK used to go around killing us, right? And then they started something called the Baptist Church. And millions of blacks out of fear joined the Baptist Church. And now all those demons that come out of the church, right, they're coming on to our people, right? The Christian church is one of the most destructive things for our people, right? Like the Christian church, Christianity is literally destroying our people. Christianity has no rules. Christianity has no guidelines. There's no morals in that place, right? You can be a Christian and be a homosexual. You can be a Christian and be a child molester. You can be a Christian and be addicted to drugs, right? There's no rules in Christianity. And these are the kind of spirits that we pick up in this place called Babylon, right? And for the brother Malik, again, I hope you get back to me. If you will join this school, like this is something beautiful about the truth. This is something beautiful about the I.S.U.P.K. Because when you come in here, unlike the Christian church, like your whole mind gets changed. Your brain gets washed. You become brand new. You become born again, right? You get that baptism that Christ talked about, right? With fire through the furnace of affliction. You get baptized with the word, right? Hearing the word and changing the way you think, right? Applying these scriptures to your life, right? Literally being born again. Or literally being a new man, literally changing the way you think and changing the way you act, right? That's the beauty about the truth. But the Christian church has all manner of demons coming out of it, all manner of foul spirits and hateful birds, right? And so verse 3 says, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication," right? For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. The same philosophies that the people in Babylon have taken on, the nations outside have taken them on too, right? Like the Chinese and the Africans, they all used to wear robes. And today you see the Chinese and the Africans wearing suits and ties, right? And it says, "And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth were waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies," right? All these other nations, all these other kings and other nations, they're all influenced by this place called Babylon. They all take on the customs of this place, right? I saw an article not too long ago. What was it? It was something about stop the gay hate in the Middle East, right? Homosexuals are trying to look for a voice out in the Middle East and they think it's okay and they think it's acceptable because they're trying to take on the culture of this place called Babylon, right? This place which is spiritually Egypt and Sodom, right? Egypt meaning bondage, right? The children of Israel are in bondage in this place. We're in bondage in this place called Babylon, right? And spiritually Sodom, we know what Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed for. If you just look at the spirit of this place, right, homosexuality is running rampant, right? And so verse 4 says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, 'Come out of her, my people.'" Salaki, one second. So verse 4 says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, 'Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues.'" Right? We got to come out of it. And this is how you come against the white man. This is how you come against this kingdom. If you're Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you want your exodus out of this place, you got to come out of the philosophies of this place called Babylon, right? Like the Bible says our warfare is spiritual, right? Like we got to shake off the philosophies of this place, right? We got to stop celebrating Christmas, right? We got to hurt the pockets of the white man, right? We got to stop sleeping with our beautiful sisters and throwing them away, right? We gotta give our daughters to the man that we choose, right? As fathers, right? We gotta come back to this Bible. We gotta come back to this Bible, and we gotta follow Christ, right? We gotta do what Christ says, right? We gotta hate this world, not be of this world, but we gotta follow Christ and do what He says, right? That's how we come out of this place called Babylon. 39. And I'm going to grab a quick precept. Brothers in the I.S.U.P.K, we say this prayer all the time. This is Psalms. We'll go to Psalms 83 really quick. Psalms 83 and verse 2. We'll start at verse 2, and it says, "For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones." Verse 4, "They have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation. that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Right? The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, Ashur is also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Right? This place called Babylon, this place that is called confusion, right? This backwards place. We have a bunch of nations that are confederate against us, right? We have a bunch of nations trying to come together and destroy the children of Israel, right? And they're all trying to do it under one banner, right? They're all trying to follow this place called Babylon, take on the customs of Babylon, work together with the kings of Babylon, right? And all of this is to destroy the nation of Israel, right? All of this is to take on the Most High. This is what they did when you read about the Tower of Babel back in Genesis, right? That same spirit is living on here today, right? It's good and alive today. And our people, Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, we got to hearken to the priests and the prophets that are trying to warn us about this, right? Because I want my exodus out of this place. I want rulership. I want my own dollar bill, right? I want my own castle. Right? I'm tired of working as slavery for an oppressor, right? I'm tired of seeing police having the freedom to just card us and harass us whenever they want. I'm tired of seeing 13-year-old boys getting gunned down by the police. The police, they have a strong brotherhood. That's why they can do what they do. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we got to come together, right? In the I.S.U.P.K, we have a strong brotherhood. And we're trying to build that brotherhood up. That's what's going to get us out of this place, right? And so, going back to Revelations 4, it says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, 'Come out of her, my people.'" Right? You got to come out of the philosophies of this place. "That ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues." And when you read this verse isn't saying that it means to go get on a plane and move to Egypt or move to Africa, right? There's some Christian groups out there that are teaching that you need to flee to the mountains, run away from this place called Babylon, go move to another country, thinking that you're going to escape the plagues of Babylon. And the reason I read Psalms 83 is because these other kings, they're working with this place called Babylon, right? And it doesn't matter where you go in the world. You can sin anywhere in the world. Just because you live in the Middle East, just because you live in Africa, doesn't mean that you can't commit sin anymore. Moving to another country is not going to get you from escaping the Most High, right? Like there's people that moved across the world following their leader based off of this verse, and they're living there today and they can't get a job, right? They're in a worse condition than what they were trying to get out of this place. But like I said, what this warfare that we're doing is spiritual, right? All we have to do is stop following the philosophies of this place. Stop celebrating Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving. Stop celebrating 1st of July. Start keeping the Lord's high holy days, the Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, Feast of First Fruits, right? This is how we get our exodus, right? And so the Bible says the earth is given to the hands of the wicked, right? Like I said, the white man has influence over the whole world. It would be ignorant to think you can move across the world and escape these plagues. Right? If you get a drug addiction and you fly across the world, you still have a drug addiction, right? Nothing's changed. The point of this is Babylon is falling, and if you're Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, doing the evil this place does, you're going to fall with it, right? That's what these verses are talking about. So let's jump to the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 6. If my comments are working. So, we're going to jump to the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 6. Obadiah. So this is the book of Amos, chapter 3. I'm going to start at verse 6. And it says, "Shall a trumpet be blown in the city?" Right? A trumpet is used to alarm people of danger. Right? That's the purpose of a trumpet. And the people not be afraid. In the I.S.U.P.K, we celebrate the memorial of the trumpets. Right? We let our people know the so-called white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. The only problem when we blow the trumpet, our people aren't listening, right? And it says, "Shall there be an evil in a city, and the Lord hath not done it?" Right? What this verse is saying is that there are watchmen that the Lord set to watch over Israel. The prophets of the Lord are men that watch over the city, right? And the UPK, we've been blowing the trumpet since 1969, right? When the trumpet gets blown, people are supposed to be afraid of evil, right? These evil things happening around us, the Lord allows it to happen, right? When he says, I'll read it again, "And the people not be afraid. Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord hath not done it?" Right? These evil things that are happening around us, the Lord allows it to happen. The Lord doesn't want us to get killed, but the Lord allows things to happen so that Israel will wake up. Right? And the prophets have been telling you to wake up. If you just watch what's going on the news, like I said, we just had a 13-year-old boy shot down, right? We had another young man, I think he was 17 years old, shot down. And in the I.S.U.P.K, over and over and over and over, we're bringing out different articles. We're bringing out news in the world. We're blowing that trumpet loud, trying to warn you of all the evil that's happening in this place, right? Like there's something going on every day. Right? Verse 7, it says, "Surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets to his servant the prophets." Right? Things that other people in the world don't understand, the Lord makes it plain for the prophets of the Lord to understand. Right? That's all that's saying. Let's jump to the book of Ezekiel. Book of Ezekiel, chapter 33 and verse 2. Right? And it says, "Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon a land, if the people of the land take a man of their own coast, and set him for their watchman," right? I'll pull out really quick This is the Zondervan's Pictorial Bible Dictionary definition of watchman. And it says, one who guards a city or the headquarters of an army. Such watchmen were set on the city walls or on the hilltops. God's prophets and preachers should also be his watchmen to warn his people. Right? That's what a watchman is. A watchman is like a security guard. Right? A watchman is somebody who watches over the people so that they can protect them. Right? So I'll read that verse again. It says, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon a land, and if you're a person that's inside the city gates, this is, how would I say that today? If you were to think of old times, let's say you're living in like a castle type thing, and inside the castle you can see what's happening outside, and outside the castle you see people drawing near to the castle with swords. Right? You got somebody that's going to be on a lookout tower or something to warn the people. It's like here, one moment. Sorry about that. So what I was saying is that if you're on the inside of the castle and you see people coming to the castle with swords, right, you have somebody in a tower or something that's going to warn the city that danger is coming, right? That's why when it says here, when I bring the sword upon the land, you see that sword coming, right? There should be people there to warn the city, to warn the inner gates, right? If the people of the land take a man of their coasts and set him for their watchman, right? Set up security guards. Set up people that are going to warn the people of danger that's coming, right? If you think of today, some of the watchmen that the children of Israel are looking to, they're looking to their Christian pastors. They're looking to somebody like T.D. Jakes. They're looking to somebody like Jesse Jackson. They're looking towards governors to warn them or to protect them. Right? These are the watchmen that Israel has set over us. Right? Like Christianity, these pastors, this is the worst disease for the Black community because they are telling Israelites to join the people that have always hated them. Right? These people have always hated us and always will. And your governors, your Christian pastors, T.D. Jakes is telling you to hold hands with them. Martin Luther King told you to hold hands with them, to integrate with them, right? And if you're a watchman watching over your people, if you got enemies coming towards your people, it would be very foolish or stupid of you to open up your castle gates and tell everybody to just hold hands. Everybody just work together, live together in unity, right? Like these people that are coming towards these gates, this is danger. This is your enemy. This is war. Right? You shouldn't be holding hands with them. Right? Like if you've looked over the history of us over here in North America, like, you'll see that the white man has always hated us. He's always hated us. He always will. And there's nothing that you can do to change that. Right? Like, tomorrow in the news, I'm going to hear another Hispanic man that's been shot by a white man. It's going to happen. Khan, Shalom, officers of Badia, Yahbashim Shabrak. trying to get information from that brother. I want to try to help him out. I'm not sure if he's still there or not. But Salakia. Let's jump to verse 3. This is Ezekiel 33 and verse 3. It says, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. A watchman should be blowing the trumpet when he sees murder taking place. Right? He should be warning the people about the threat that's coming. The I.S.U.P.K has been telling Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that there's a threat out there and we need to come together. Right? It's biblical prophecy for us to unite. Right? It's biblical prophecy for the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom to come together. Right? Like, watchmen are supposed to be telling you, join together, take arms, or heed this warning. Right? There's a threat coming, and like, we need to prepare ourselves for this threat. Right? And the I.S.U.P.K is telling you how to defeat this threat. Brothers and sisters got to join together, and we got to follow Christ. Right? Hey, shalom, Trooper Satham, Yahba Shem Shai Barakatah. The water for tuning in. Right? This is the I.S.U.P.K has been telling you how to defeat this threat. Right? How to defeat getting carted and harassed in the street. Right? Brothers and sisters, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we got to join together under Christ. Right? And we do that by joining the I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General YAHANNA. Right? You join that by joining the people who are going to teach you and tell you what it is you need to do in order to change your life and in order to unite. Right? Verse 4 says, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own hand. Right? You got to be a dummy not to listen to the warning that's coming. Right? If you're just going to walk past that trumpet thinking, I'm going to continue to live life the way I want, right? Not taking that warning, you're not wise. You're not smart. Right? I use an example of somebody pulling a fire alarm and you're just sitting there at the desk, just still working, right? Thinking that you're safe. Who cares if the fire alarm's going off? And that's what Israel's doing today. A lot of Israel isn't heeding the warning of the I.S.U.P.K. The children of Israel aren't heeding the words of the prophets. Right? This has always been going on, where the Most High sent saviors for Israel, sends priests and prophets to watch over you so that they can guide you and teach you, protect you, shepherd you, lead you. Right? And so, let me read that again. And take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. What this is saying is, if you don't listen to what the priests and the prophets and the I.S.U.P.K are saying, the Lord's going to kill you. Right? Killing isn't anything. I was speaking about this yesterday. Killing isn't anything for the Most High. Right? Thousands of people have died today. Thousands of people are going to die tomorrow. Thousands of people have died the day before. Thousands of animals have died today. Right? This is the Most High's creation. Killing ain't nothing for him. Right? Like the scriptures say, the Lord kills and he makes alive. Right? If you don't take heed to what the prophets of God are telling you, that blood's going to be on you. Right? Verse 5 says, He heard the sound of the trumpet. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning. His blood shall be upon him. Like I said, if you don't listen to the warning of the priests and prophets, your blood's on you. That blood's on you. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. If you listen to the warning, you live. If you don't listen, you die. Right? And these are what the watchmen do. These are what the watchmen are here for. Right? Verse 6 says, but if the watchmen see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned. When you come into the I.S.U.P.K. and you take an oath of that priest, it's your job to go out there and warn the people. Right? Even if you don't feel like doing it, you don't have a choice. You gotta put your boots on and go to war. Right? This is your job as a priest and prophet under commanding General YAHANNA. It's your job to warn the people. Right? So if you're a watchman who sees the sword coming, you're a priest and prophet of the Most High, and you see the sword coming, and you don't warn the people, right? That blood's going to be on your hands. It says, if the sword come and take away any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. Right? These so-called pastors are sitting in the seat of watchmen, and they are not doing their job at all. Right? T.D. Jakes, that blood is going to be on your hand. Creflo Dollar, that blood's going to be on your hand. Right? These governors that are telling you, just vote for us and we'll fix your problems, like that blood is on your hands. Right? Men in the I.S.U.P.K, we got to go to war. We got to do our job. We got to warn the people. Right? And that's what we're doing. Verse 7 says, Salakia. Verse 7 says, Ezekiel 33 and verse 7, so thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me. Right? For Israel is very important. When you read the first part of that verse, when it says, so thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Right? These watchmen are set for Israel. Not to Moabites, not to Hamites, not to Edomites, the so-called white man, the Asian, the so-called African. Right? These watchmen are set unto Israel. This book is the records of Israel. Right? Not to everybody. Therefore, thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me. That warning that we're warning the children of Israel is Revelation 18 and 4. That warning that the men in the I.S.U.P.K are warning the children of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that warning is to come out of her, my people. Right? The warning is in Zephaniah chapter 2 and 1. Gather yourselves together, O nation undesired. Right? Let's jump to the book of Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 17. Let's get Lamentations 4 and 17. Lamentations 4 and verse 17 says, as for us, Our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. Right? Israel has been looking for someone to save us out of this mess. And we've wasted our time doing things like voting. Right? We've wasted our time doing things like going to the Christian church. We wasted our time following Martin Luther King and holding hands with our oppressors. Right? These watchmen, they have failed us. Right? And we've been looking to watchmen. We've been looking for vain help. We've been looking to nations, just wasting our time, basically, to nations that could not save us, to watchmen that could not save us. Right? Verse 18 says, they hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Right? Our oppressors hunt our steps, literally. The Christian church is telling you God loves everyone. Meanwhile, you have devils out here looking for you to slip up, right? Waiting for the right opportunity just to take your life, right? These are not people that we should be holding hands with, right? These are the people that the men of the Lord in the I.S.U.P.K are warning Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to stay away from, to separate from, right? Come out of their philosophies, come out of their way of life. They just totally separate from these people, right? This is the warning that we're trying to give, right? Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 6. Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 14. Jeremiah 6 and verse 14 says, they have healed also the hurt of the daughter of my people slightly, saying, peace, peace, when there is no peace, right? What this is saying is, if you look at that Derek Chauvin case that just happened, right? He got convicted. This guy, not brother, Salakia. This devil just got convicted of murder, right? For putting his neck on George Floyd. He gets convicted of murder, and I actually heard somebody that's close to me say there truly is a God because Derek Chauvin got convicted of murder, right? Like, these Israelites are constantly being healed slightly, right? It says verse 14 says, they have healed also the hurt of the daughter of my people slightly. Derek Chauvin getting convicted of murder for killing a black man, executing a black man, that is slightly healing the children of Israel, right? Because that's not justice, right? That's not a full healing. That's not a fix to the issues going on in our communities, right? Our people are constantly being slightly healed, right? And as they're being slightly healed, they're being told that they can rest now, right? Peace, peace. Derek Chauvin gets convicted of murder, and now it should be a peaceful time. But the watchmen of the children of Israel, the watchmen of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, under commanding General YAHANNA and the I.S.U.P.K, we know that in 2 days' time, another black man's going to get murdered. Another indigenous sister's going to get kidnapped. Another Hispanic man's going to get shot down in the street. Right? We are trying to watch over our people and warn them of the danger that's here and warn them of danger that's coming. Right? The prophets of God are warning the people, saying, these killings aren't going to stop until you come out of Babylon. Come out of Babylon, my people, and change your life. Follow Christ and gather with your brothers. All right. Let's grab the book of Luke. Grab Luke chapter 22. Luke chapter 22 and verse 36. Right. This is the watchman's job. We're there to warn the people, right? Warn them of that danger. You're Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. It would be wise for you to heed that warning, right? Luke 22 and 36 says, Salakia. Luke 22 and 36 says, Then said he unto them, but now he that hath a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip. And he that hath no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one. Right? If you're a brother in the school and you can legally get a firearm, we encourage you to get a firearm. Right? Go get yourself a firearm. A weapon is meant for protecting yourself and for protecting your family. Right? And Christ understood this. Right? Christ told his people, get ready for war. He said, sell your scrip. Scrip is like, not a banknote. A scrip is like something used to say that you own a piece of property or you own land, right? So Christ was saying, or like the ownership of a house. Christ was saying, sell your house, sell your land, and go and buy a weapon. Go and prepare for war. And I'm bringing the scripture out to say, I'm not telling you to go and sell your house, but I'm bringing it out to say that the prophets of the Lord are here to warn you. And Christ was no different, right? Christ was definitely not the man that Christianity paints him to be, right? Christ was telling you, get that weapon, get that sword, prepare for war, right? There's people trying to harm you. Shalom in the chat. Shalom Ra'ah Ha'awar. Shalom Yahba Shem Shai Barakatha. Tawada for tuning in. And so Christ was telling these brothers, Christ was telling his disciples, right? Go ahead, sell your stuff and get those weapons. Go buy those guns. Right? Prepare for war. These are what the priests and prophets of God have always done. They're there to warn the people. They're there to warn Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Right? Let's grab Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Go to the book of Zephaniah. Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Zephaniah 2 and 1 says, and this is what the watchmen are telling you to do. This is what the priests and prophets of God, the men of the Lord and the I.S.U.P.K are telling Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to do. Right? The Most High is telling us to gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Right? The children of Israel, you are that nation that is undesired. Right? Verse 2 says, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as a chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you. Right? The Lord says, is there not evil done in the city that I have not done? Right? The Lord kills and makes alive. The Most High is in charge of all of this. Right? Salaki, one sec. Salaki. Right? Is there not evil done in the city that the Most High has not done? Right? The Most High is in charge of all of this. Right? And his anger is full. His judgment's ready to come. And it's been coming. And so the solution to make sure that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians don't die getting gunned down in Walmart or get gunned down going to church in some church building, right? Officers Abadia, those people that were in that fitness gym over on Jane and Finch, right? That man went by that fitness gym with a Uzi, right? And just lit that place up, right? The solution for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, right, to get their safety out of that is to follow the Most High, right? To join this brotherhood, to unite under Christ, to change the way that we're living, to change the philosophies of our mind, right? Stop celebrating birthdays, stop eating shrimp, crab, and lobster, learning to love our brothers as ourselves, learning to love the Most High, right? This is what we got to do to protect ourselves, right? Shalom, Adawan, Yabashim, Shabrakatah.
Hey, Shalom, Aki, how about Shimei Shabrakatha? Salaki, I'm not on camera at the moment, but trying to get that unleavened bread in at the moment right quick.
Hey, Most High in Christ.
All right.
Most High in Christ. Salaki, are you free to read?
Con.
Come on, Most High in Christ. Can you grab the book of John, chapter 15?
Con, Most High in Christ. Let me get it right quick.
Come. John, chapter 15 and verse 12.
Bear with me one moment.
Come.
John 15:12. This is my commandments, that ye love one another as I have loved you.
Salaki, read that again, Baba Shah.
Kanak. John 15, verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you.
Come. All right, this is just saying that Christ suffered for us so that we could be a family.
Right.
Keep reading.
Verse 13. Greater love has no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
Right. Christ suffered for us till death. And that's the greatest love we can show to one another. Right? There's brothers in the I.S.U.P.K willing to die for me that I don't even know.
Right.
Right? All these brothers know is that I'm in the I.S.U.P.K, I'm an Israelite, I follow Christ, and I report to Commanding General YAHANNA, right? And these brothers are willing to die for me just because we're under one banner, right? And this love that we have for one another, and this love that we're learning to have for one another, right? This is the sacrifice and the suffering that we got to show to each other so that we can get out of this place, right? I'll keep reading.
Khan. Verse 14. Ye are my friends, if ye do whatsoever I command you.
Right. These brothers and sisters that take order under Commanding General YAHANNA, these are my friends, right? And it's because they take order. These people that I'm willing to die for, right? These people that I'm learning to serve and suffer with, right? I'm doing it because we all take order under the same man. We all follow Christ, right? And this is the love that we got to show to each other to build this nation, right?
Right.
Can you grab Matthew chapter 10 and verse 7?
Khan, Ak. Matthew 10, verse 7. And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Right. And Christ didn't tell the people to go celebrate Easter, right? Christ didn't tell people to stay in their sin, right? Christ didn't tell people you didn't have to change, right? Christ told us to watch over our people, right? Christ said, go and warn the people, watch over the people, right? This is brotherhood.
Right.
Tell your brothers to stop smoking weed. Tell your sisters to stop aborting their babies, right? Tell our people to stop sleeping with heathens. Show them a better way of life, because if you don't change, death and destruction is coming, right? Can you read that again, Baba Kasha?
Khan. Matthew 10, verse 7. And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Right. So this kingdom is coming soon. And basically this kingdom, this world is coming to an end. And Jacob's world is coming, right? The rulership for Israel, the rulership for Jacob, that's coming. So you got to take heed to these watchmen. You got to take heed to these prophets that are there to warn you, right? We're doing it so that you can get this kingdom, right? Can you grab 1 Thessalonians chapter 5? Baba Kasha?
God.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 2.
God. Slovakia, let me find it.
First Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 2.
God, 1 second. I'm just looking for it out.
Come.
1 Thessalonians 5, verse 2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night.
Right. So thief meaning it's just something that's unexpected, right? A thief that comes in the night, it's shocking, it's surprising, right? You're caught off guard, right? That day that the Lord is coming, it's going to be unexpected, right? Keep reading.
God. For when they shall say, peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
God. Like, there's going to be brothers and sisters that think everything's okay, right? Like I said before, I.S.U.P.K, we've pulled the fire alarm, right? And there's going to be Israelites, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that they just stay inside that building like nothing's happening, right? They're just going to ignore what's going on, right? I.S.U.P.K since 1969 has been warning the people, y'all got to come out of this place. Y'all got to come out of the philosophies of Babylon, right? We gotta come out of this oppression that we're in.
Right.
This danger, it's here. It's been coming. Like, we got to change what we've been doing, right?
Right.
And
Salaki,
so,
if I may.
come.
It, like what you're saying is so heavy. That's a heavy point about we've pulled the fire alarm. That fire alarm is ringing. The priests and prophets in the I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General YAHANNA, the leader of the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we've been talking about the plagues that are coming. And I've heard it, like when I heard the priests and prophets talking about the plagues, and then boom, you turn around and you spin around twice and coronavirus shut down the whole world. Right, the Lord's plague shut down the whole world. Right, like the I.S.U.P.K is letting everybody know, and it's gonna be just like the flood. Like, it's gonna come out of nowhere. Christ with the angels, he's gonna come out of nowhere, and everyone's gonna be caught off guard. While everyone thinks it's okay to be in Miami twerking and doing whatever, Christ is gonna catch every filthy pastor in their sins, every Black, Hispanic, and Native American in their sin if they don't wake up and come into the school, if they don't decide to change their life.
Come. Most High in Christ. And Salaki, if I could add on to what you're saying, it just brought back a memory for myself where I actually heard the first time I ever heard Israelite camp speaking was Captain Mashak. And I remember him on that podium saying, Babylon is falling. We got to come out of her, my people. Like, this place is falling. We got to come out of the philosophies and the way of this place, right? That's what the watchmen do. That's what the priests and prophets of the Lord do. They're there to warn you, to tell you of the danger that's coming, right? And that's how I heard about I.S.U.P.K.
Salakia. I think every Benjamite in the city of Toronto heard Captain Mashak's voice, and we just said Khan out of one Khan, and we jumped into school straight up and down. Like, when Captain Mashak starts going in and that wolf starts to come out of him, you stop, you listen. He man, I can't wait to get to a camp with Captain Mashak.
God. Man, when I was just, I remember when I first, Salakia, on topic, but Salakia, I messaged Officer Aban, I think it might have been like 3 years ago.
Right.
It was a long time ago. I didn't know any better. I messaged him. I was typing him on Facebook. Hey, I really like Captain Mashak. I heard Captain Mashak speaking. I follow this brother a lot. Been listening to him on YouTube. And he was probably thinking, like, what is this nut-ass nigga saying? At the time, I didn't know nothing about rank, nothing about Commanding General YAHANNA. But I just say that to say, like, these are real watchmen over Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
And they're here to watch over your soul. Right? They're here to warn you of the danger that's coming. They're here to warn you of the danger that's here. Right? Like I said in Jeremiah 6 and verse 14 says they heal the daughters of Israel lightly. Right? Meaning that Derek Chauvin, who's just got convicted for executing a black man, right? The children of Israel are thinking, yeah, we got justice. This is it. But the real priests and prophets of the Lord, the real watchmen over the nation of Israel, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we know that another killing is going to happen tomorrow. Another killing is going to happen a week from now.
God.
Another killing's probably happened today. We're just waiting to hear about it on the news, right?
God, Salakia. A killing happened the same day that verdict went out. His sister was shot 4 times because of a knife. But you see every devil running around fighting with knives, fighting the police. I seen a devil attack 2 police in a video. He beat the brakes off the police, jumped in their cruiser, and not a single shot was fired.
God.
And there should be extra weapons in the cruiser. He could have used the vehicle as a weapon. Not a single shot was fired.
Con. Yeah, this is our reality, right? This is the reality that we're living in, and we can't stay sleeping on this, right? Like I said, it would be stupid not to listen to the alarm that's going off. It would be stupid not to listen to that trumpet that's being blown from the men of the Lord and the I.S.U.P.K. Right? That warning's coming for a reason, right? Salaki, where were we? Did we read verse 3?
Salakia, 1 second. We read verse 3. We read verse 3. Con.
Let's jump down to verse 6. Baba Kasha.
Con. 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 6. Therefore, let us not sleep, as do others, but let us watch and be sober.
Con. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we just gotta pay attention, right? Like we gotta open or lift our heads up, right? For some of us, out of our phones or out of Facebook, whatever it may be, but right, like we gotta stop worrying about what Denzel wore to the Grammys. We gotta stop worrying about what new pair of Jordans just came out, right? Like, we got to start looking out for the solutions to black on black crime, right? We got to start looking to solutions to getting sisters off drugs, right? Protection for our indigenous sisters getting kidnapped, right? And it would be wise to take heed to people who are saying something different, right? Take heed to people who are speaking the words of the Bible, right? Take heed to the men who are speaking what Christ said, right? The men of the Lord are telling you, follow Christ, do what he says, change your life, learn how to be a good brother, learn how to be a good sister, right? Telling you, don't join hand in hand with the white man. Join hand in hand with your people, right? And those are the things that we got to do so that we can get our exodus out of here, right? Let's jump to one more verse and then we'll end the class a little early. Let's jump to Matthew 22 and verse 36. Matthew 22 and verse 36. Hey, shalom, sisters.
Matthew 22.
Oh, Slakia. Shalom, Kapa, Banat. Yao Shemar Lathab, Hashem Shai. Thwada for tuning in, sister. Salakia. Salakia, go ahead and read Baba Shah.
Matthew 22, verse 36. Master, which is the great commandment in the law?
Right. So someone asked Christ a simple question, and it should be one that everyone asks the men of the Lord coming into the truth. Right. Keep reading.
Yahushua said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind.
All right. Christ responded to love the Most High with all your heart, your soul, and your mind. Right. And love for God is something that is heavily misunderstood. Let me grab that precept really quick. Right. This is a book of 2 John chapter 1 and 6. It says, and this is love, that we walk after his commandments. This is the commandments that ye have heard from the beginning, and ye should walk in. Like, love for the Most High is obeying him.
Right.
Love for the Most High is obedience to him. Right. Not just saying it with our mouth. Right. Not just talking about it and not actually doing it. Not being hypocritical. Right. Like this feast of unleavened bread, we should be focused on taking the hypocrisy out of us. Right. We should be focused on being better people. Right? Because this is love. And this is how we love the Most High. We do it by obeying him. Right? Keep reading.
Salakia. 38. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
All right. If we understood what the love of God was, like obeying him and keeping the commandments, then it would be easy for us to love our brothers. Right? It would be easy for us to love our brothers the same way, because we would obey the laws regarding brotherhood. Right? The biggest problem in our communities is we don't know how to love ourselves. Right? And Slakia, let's get we'll get one more verse. Slakia. Leviticus 19 and verse 17. Because if we would understand love, we would understand how to love each other. Right? We would understand true brotherhood.
Right.
And I bring this out to say, like, again, the watchmen, the priests and prophets over Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we're trying to give you the tools to get out of this place. Right? To anybody just tuning in, if you're in the I.S.U.P.K, we're celebrating the Feast of Unleavened Bread right now. We just got finished keeping the Passover. We're celebrating and memorializing the Passover.
Right.
That was our exodus out of Egypt. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking forward to my exodus out of Babylon. I'm looking forward to my exodus out of this place. Right? And this is how we're going to get out of here. Leviticus 19 and verse 17.
God, I got it right here. Leviticus 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
Read.
Thou shalt in any wise and not suffer sin upon him.
Right. It's in the law that you are not allowed to hate your brother. You can't hate your brother in your heart. You can't do it. This is a law Christ was talking about. Right? If you're Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, hating another Black, Hispanic, Native Indian is not allowed. Right? That is a disgusting thing to do in the Most High's eyes. Right? And we got to rebuke our neighbors. We got to, if someone does something wrong to you, you got to let them know about it. Right? In order to build this nation, we have to learn how to communicate with one another. Right? Learn not to be afraid to talk about our issues with one another. Right? This society has taught us to be passive, just to kind of let things slide. When if you say something like it's not a big deal, I'll let this thing slide, you're just being an evil bastard, right? Because really you're just scared, you're just too weak, you don't like confrontation, and you're letting Satan convince you that things are going to be okay. Right? We can't let things build up between brothers and sisters, right? We got to learn to communicate and talk to each other, right? Keep reading.
Any of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
Right. So and another thing, we just got to forgive each other. We got to learn to forgive each other, not hold grudges against our sister, right? Like we can't be a spiteful bastard towards our brothers and sisters. We got to learn to forgive each other, right? Christ said to forgive your brothers 70 times 7, right? I think it says if a brother offends you that day, forgive him that day, right? Or if a brother offends you 7 times in a day, forgive him 70 times 7, right? Like that's just the kind of spirit that we got to have towards each other, right? Like the priests and prophets of the Lord that are watching over you, right? We're telling you, look out for this danger that's coming. Look out for this danger that's here, right? This place called Babylon, this is not our kingdom, right? Jacob's kingdom is coming. Babylon is going to fall. Our exodus is going to happen, right? And we're going to get that by uniting with brothers and sisters. We're going to do that by following Christ, learning to follow Christ under commanding General YAHANNA, right? And so with that, Salakia, I'm going to end the class. Salakia, can I pass the class to you just to do the security announcements? I got to take care of something really quick. Salakia. Yeah. I think I'm lagging a bit too, Salakia. All right, one moment. Just give me one moment, Salakia. Sorry about that, guys. Salakia. We're just going to do the security announcements and we're going to close out the class. This is the I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to show them the world. They need Salakia. And no sweat. I'm going to end with the security announcements. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find it in Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 to 10, and Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Ma'ashra means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations. Right now we're still in the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And I think we have the Feast of First Fruits coming up next. But for now, we're still in the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Speak to your camp leader for more information. Hopefully everybody's enjoying that flatbread right now. Hopefully all the Akim and Akwathim enjoyed that lamb. I know I still got leftovers. And so with that, we're going to end the class.